Hi, my name is Glenn Hasselman. I'm just making this video for the free accounting software users to show you guys how to transition from Single Touch Payroll 1 to Single Touch Payroll 2. In this video I want to cover the closely held payee concession that I think will apply to a lot of our users because a lot of our users are micro businesses. So what it is if we go to the setup of the tax code, there's an income type now. In the default chart of accounts, it's just going to say salaries and wages. There is another option there called salaries and wages dash eligible for a closely held payee concession. So you could just change all of the setup to this, and then when you use these tax codes to pay employees, it will use this closely held pay concession. However, that'll mean when you pay any of your employees this thing that they'll have that. So you might have some employees who are not part of the closely held group. So let's see a better way. Actually, before we do that, I will show you point out what it looks like on the payslip. So basically, if we go new payslip and go to the employee, put in some normal time. If we scroll down to the pay event info, we see here that it says salary and wages. So you might just think that's just the heading, I suppose, but it's actually it's the income type. So it could be salaries and wages, it could be working holiday maker, and there are some other options as well. The one we want to see there is salary and wages dash closely held payee. Okay, so what we want to do is go to this employee setup. So we go to the employee, click on payroll details, and we have a few extra fields here that relate to Single Touch Payroll 2. So in fact, I'll just point at some of the other ones out while I'm here. We've got an end date, so if the employee was terminated, we could fill that in and that would then flow through. Cessation type, again for when the employee is terminated. And we've got skipping the income type there, we've got the country code, if that was relevant. It's not going to be relevant to most cases for our users. And this is the one here. So override income type STP2. So we can select salaries and wages dash eligible for closely held payee concession, and then save that. That means that when we go to do a payslip for this employee, what's it doing? Computer seems to have started to go pretty slow there. Okay. So scrolling down to the pay event info, we can see now that the amounts are being reported under the salaries and wages dash eligible for closely held payee concession. Another thing to notice is there are a few less categories here. So there were some things that normal salaries and wages person might get paid that the closely held pay doesn't make sense to pay them those things. So yeah. Anyway, that's all there is to it. save that pay slip, and it just means that, you know, in fact, another thing I should point out is that by doing it this way, it has actually brought in all of the previous year-to-date earnings into this pay concession. Okay, that's an advantage of doing this, because you don't have to go and re-edit any of those previous year-to-date pay slips. If for some reason, which I don't think there is a valid reason for this, but if for some reason you needed to have some of the year as salaries and wages, some for closely held, then you would actually need to use different accounts and tax codes to separate. You couldn't use that override, because once you've overridden it, it's just going to override everything. Okay, I think that's all there is to it. I guess you got to check the ATO rules to make sure you're eligible for the pay-as-you-go or the closely held pay concession. You know, but this is a video on how to use the software and software support rather than accounting and taxation advice. Anyway, I hope the video has been useful, and thanks for watching.